There have been countless movies made about the story and resurrection of Jesus Christ, but few that look at it from the angle that Risen does. We're on the red carpet tonight at its New York special screening where we'll be talking with its star, this guy right behind me, Joseph Fiennes, as well as the producers and screenwriters. So get ready for a great night behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. So Joseph Fiennes. This story, I love it. I've seen every Jesus movie under the sun.
You have?
I think I have. I'm like the glossary of Jesus movies, I think now. But this is a totally different take on it. Obviously, we're looking at from a person who doesn't believe's eyes. Talk to me about what drew you to this role in this Roman soldier.
Well, there were a few components. One, our veteran director, Kevin Reynolds. I felt I could really trust his vision, and I've been a big fan of his. Also, the narrative. From a young age, the story of Christ has been very arresting for me. And also the idea of visiting this narrative from the eyes of a Roman military tribune, a non-believer, if you like. And also, it's got a whole detective twist to it. It's kind of like Bible noir. And so I loved the kind of the tension and the fresh take that the film delivers.
What I love is we see the transformation with him throughout the movie. Talk to me about that transformation because it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other pretty quickly.
Well, that was a big attraction. It's a sort of a great opportunity for an actor to go on that journey and take an audience on that journey. But I felt that he was a man that's deeply conditioned in Roman military warfare. He's brutal and surgical when it comes to battle, and the same in his life. He's a man that serves Pontius Pilate and serves the cause of Rome, and then suddenly all that conditioning is undone when he comes against the followers of Christ and their philosophy. And I love the sort of the fallout of him getting to understand their philosophy. And then there's obviously an irrevocable moment when he goes to hunt them down and he finds a man that shouldn't be there.
This movie's going to get quite the reaction both ways. Talk to me about what you want people to take away from this movie. What is the message and the reaction you hope they take away?
Well, I hope that the audience take away, if they're believers, they take away the continued conversation of faith and what that means to them. And if they're non-believers, I think you can still appreciate the value of redemption and forgiveness. And also just to look at soldiers running around and, in Roman gear is kind of fun too.
How did this whole, let's take a look at it from the other side premise come about?
I'll let Paul answer that since he originated this.
Well, the original idea was having seen The Passion, being very moved by it with the last scene, going through the whole movie experience and then seeing Jesus stand up in the tomb when he left. To me, that was like, I want to tell that story. But I didn't want to tell it from Jesus' perspective or the apostles, so that's why we came up with the Roman centurion.
You bring it to a major studio. What's the reaction? Is it kind of like, hey, let's go make this right away, or was there a fight?
No, the process really was honing the script for quite some time and then bringing it to my partner and close friend, Mickey Liddell and Pete Shyamalan of LD Entertainment. And then we put it together methodically and then took it to Sony, a firm with Rich Palooza. So it was a very carefully planned process because you wanted the right financier to make it independently of the system, and then you wanted the worldwide distributor to market it correctly and get it to all the screens correctly.
You've got such a fascinating story yourself.
Right.
Talk to me about the connection because you and your family escaped Iraq.
Right.
Talk to me about how that played into wanting to make this movie.
I feel like those apostles in their journey, they're immigrants. I feel like they're on the search for something, and they're constantly looking, and they're constantly walking, and they're constantly searching. I feel like that's what the refugees are going through right now. All those people walking for miles on end, they're looking for something, and they're searching for something, and I feel like that's what drew me to this. And while making, this movie was so cathartic for me. It's like I felt like I got on the bus a year ago, and I'm about to get off the bus. And it was incredible the entire way through. We started the press junkets in the Vatican, and we're ending it here in New York. So it's been unbelievable.
The world's greatest manhunt. I love it. Jesus' story from reverse. Talk to me about it, making this movie.
You know, this was a great experience for me the whole way through. I've been on this project for probably like 9 years or something. So with a group here, and we've been working on it for a long time. And we just thought it was really time to tell a redemption story, a resurrection story. So showing it through Clavius's eyes, which is a Roman who has no interest in this at all and thinks that these people are crazy, was just so exciting. You know what I mean? To really take something that we all know the story so well, and we know almost every movement that Jesus made at that time, but to show it from someone who didn't believe anything, then you get the chance and have the fun to ask the question that you might have wanted to ask. Like, really, are you have a twin? Are you a sprite? Are you a goblet? Like, I don't believe any of this. And then, of course, seeing his transformation when he starts to see things happen and hears him and hears other people, he's starting to question sort of whether, he is wrong, in worshiping Mars and all the gods that he worships. All of a sudden, there's a new introduction to one God and a Son of God in front of him, and to see that, and to see an actor like Joseph Fiennes, who's Shakespearean, unbelievable, go through something like that is really amazing. I've never seen anything like that on screen.
You're making the introductory remarks tonight, so this movie, Risen. I love how it's told from the opposite side. Talk to me about getting involved with this.
Well, just being able to be the place that shows it first in New York is a thrill for us. But I think mainly the fact that what we're best going to be known for are the talkbacks that happen after the movie. And so to kind of unpack where the there is in any of the movies is a staple of the Sheen Center. And to be able to have the opportunity to have the key people do that after the movie tonight is really what I'm most proud of, because I think people will take a lot away from that.